people are fearful of misgender pronouncing.
के भन्छ I'm gender fluid होइन अनि which already होइन जय नेपाल that is यस्तो tasking to explain to people but then basically मेरो pronouns are fluid हुन्छ नि it depends on like how I'm feeling हुन्छ नि अनि त्यही एकदम again fluid होइन so मान्छेहरूले मेरो pronouns सोद्धाखेरि पनि म usually I just say they because it's easier but then it's like they he she but then she चाहिँ त्यस्तो होइन हुन्छ नि I use he they see already it's कस्तो I understand क्या हुन्छ नि when people के भन्छ misgender me because one त I'm not very masculine के भन्छ presenting होइन अलि feminine presenting छु म अहिले when I came out I had like shorter hair यताउता हुन्छ नि एकदम त्यो man वाला हुन्छ नि एकदम त्यो society वाला man खाले त्यस्तो खाले देख्थेँ क्या म हुन्छ नि I used to bind my chest and stuff like that त्यतिखेर it was easier for people to be like okay he होइन नचिनेको मान्छेले नि he हो भाइ यताउता भनेर भन्थ्यो होइन but then now that I'm more comfortable with who I am यताउता होइन it's more difficult for people to के भन्छ call me by the pronouns that I prefer अनि which I understand but then again it also depends on the person नि त हुन्छ नि I can't expect everyone to give a shit about me to the extent where हुन्छ नि they will completely change the way that they talk हुन्छ नि or be एकदम mindful because the reality is not everyone's gonna be that way हुन्छ नि not everyone cares about you that much हुन्छ नि अनि कसै भनौँ yeah people are fearful because के भन्छ no one wants to offend anyone everything is कस्तो PC I know and they're like even मेरो आफ्नै अङ्कल आन्टीहरू पनि लाइक मेरो ममले पनि छोरी भन्न छाड्छन् भयो क्या अदिति भनेर बोलाउनुहुन्छ आई लभ द्याट हुन्छ नि राम्रो हो क्या होइन आई फिल लाइक इन जेनरल पनि वेन वी टक टु पिपल न्युट्रलमै कुरा गरे नि ठिक छ होइन हामीले गरिरहेको पनि हो हुन्छ नि वी जस्ट हेभन नोटिस्ड इट गेट हुन्छ नि अनि के भन्छ मेरो अङ्कलहरूले पनि एकदम मिल्ने अङ्कलहरूले होइन ओ सी कुनै के भन्नुहुन्छ सरी 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 हुन्छ नि भनेर एकदमै विच इज कस्तो क्युट क्या बिकज आई क्यान सी द्याट दे केयर नि त हुन्छ नि द्याट दिस इज समथिङ द्याट अफेक्ट्स मी दिस इज समथिङ द्याट मेक्स मी ह्याप्पी when they gender me correctly भनेर होइन so they're making an effort but then definitely हुन्छ नि in media पनि there's this again PC culture हुन्छ नि which to some extent it's good it can be helpful but then it also turns people off क्या हुन्छ नि अति नै because they're like oh my god तिमीहरू queersहरू कस्तो complicated हुन्छ नि किन हामीले चाहिँ सुरुदेखि सबै कुरा सिक्नु पर्यो जस्तै हो क्या होइन अनि no you don't need to like हुन्छ नि how many genders are there 1000 something genders यताउता के भन्छ होइन you don't need to learn every single pronoun that there is okay? Just if you have someone you care about and they are telling you this is the pronoun that I use then basic हुन्छ नि त्यो अलिकति हुन्छ त्यो माया देखाउन मात्रै भयो भने पनि हुन्छ नि basic empathy it's someone you care about respect their pronouns त्यति हो क्या लाइक हुन्छ नि नचिनेको मान्छे मसँग बोल्दाखेरि if they misgender me I correct them it's fine क्या it's not gonna be like के गरिस् जेल त्यस्तो छैन क्या हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो intense
and it's so good that you've shared that view right now because sometimes I feel like and you know if we're on the receiving end we also need to recognize कस्तो खालको community मा छौं हामी अनि कस्तो खालको you know if people how much they know or how much they don't need so we can't always think like you know we need to punish that person we need to call them out on social media because यो मान्छेले त मलाई त यस्तो भन्यो or यसरी मेरो pronoun उल्टो गर्यो भनेर क्या so I feel like you know on our side पनि there's a bit of homework but then I completely recognize that अहिले चाहिँ you know there's a lot of people who are so fearful that they're not even taking that step forward okay and I said the all you have to do is like how should I address you होइन or नेपालमा म तपाईँलाई कसरी सम्बोधन गरौँ के भनेर बोलाउँ त्यति मात्र भन्दा हुन्छ क्या तर त्यो भन्न नि डरले केही भन्दैन क्या होइन अनि आइम जस्ट लाइक त्यो भने डायलग नै हुँदैन नि त डायलग भएन भने त त्यो अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङमा पुग्नै सकिँदैन क्या सो इट्स जस्ट लाइक त्यो त्यसमा अलिकति मिल्नुपर्छ क्या अनि इफ समबडी इज लाइक अब अहिले अ लट अफ द टाइम्स स्पेसली इन वर्क सेटिङ्सहरूमा इमेलहरूमा चाहिँ नि इफ यु इन अर्गनाइजेसन एन्ड सो अन अब लेट्स लिम्बु ही/हिम एन्ड आई रियली लाइक द्याट बिकज कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ अ लट अफ द टाइम्स especially it's like तपाईलाई ब्रो नै भन्नु मिल्छ खालको क्या I'm like no I'm
traumatized by that
that is it yeah I mean
the bro culture
so त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ it's almost like people are really confused but so at least I try to put he him in wherever possible so then they realize he नै रहेछ but त्यही अब मन पराउने पुरुषलाई मात्र त्यति तर कति धेरै अब उयो छ नि त missing piecesहरू but yeah I hope that people take that first question like how should I refer to you, how should I address you, that is it.
स्पेसली नेपालमा हेर्दाखेरि आई डोन्ट थिङ्क इट्स द्याट डिफिकल्ट लाइक नयाँ प्रोनाउन्सहरू लर्न गर्नुपर्छ नि जस्तो लाग्दैन नेपाली ल्याङ्ग्वेज इन इट्सेल्फ इज भेरी जेन्डर न्युट्रल के तिमी भनेर भनेछ भन्दा त इट सुड नट बी लाइक हुन्छ नि यो उसको मान्छेलाई भनेछ भन्दा इट्स भेरी जेन्डर न्युट्रल सो यु क्यान युज यर ओन नेटिभ ल्याङ्ग्वेज कि आई थिङ्क नेटिभ ल्याङ्ग्वेजेस आर मोर जेन्डर न्युट्रल इन सेन्स लाइक हुन्छ नि अर्कै ल्याङ्ग्वेजमै स्पिक गर्दा इङ्ग्लिस गरौँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो नै लाग्छ मलाई अनि यसमा चाहिँ आई कम्प्लिटली एग्री इट्स अबाउट लाइक गिभिङ देम रेस्पेक्ट के सो इट्स काइन्ड अफ अबाउट लाइक acknowledging their existence in a sense like unarle okay kire you exist and I acknowledge that bhane it's kind of that to pronounce what should I call you bhane it's kind of like solidifying that so it's not that like huncha ni ekdamai identity politics ma bhayera ekdam PC culture mai gaera ekdam wokeism jasto dekhaera ne haina yo bhaneko yo गर्दा अनि त्यस्तो भन्ने बित्तिकै there will always be this kind of people who will be like huncha ni हामीलाई त एउटा agenda नै force feed गर्न खोजे जस्तो लाग्छ भनेर भने हुन्छ नि त so it's nothing about that it's about I think queer existence and queer liberation is all about living your own authentic truth and it's about other person like who wants to follow us in our journey it's about accepting that it's part of ourselves के भनेर okay and it's about the openness in that communication so it's not about spreading kind of like an agenda and yo भनेको यो भन्दाखेरि पनि I feel like कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ मान्छेहरू कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दा if that person it also depends on the level of your comfort so if you're with a person that's where you're very close with हैन अनि कहिलेकाहीँ टङ स्लिप भएर गर्दाखेरि पनि will be like you know they are like not really intentional
it's not malicious
exactly त्यो malicious त्यो intention के छ intent थाहा हुन्छ के मान्छेहरूलाई so like calling or trans people by their dead name त्यो उसलाई त्यो mispronounce गरे त्यो चाहिँ like कुन त्यो पर्सन लाइक कम्फर्टेबिलिटी एउटा भयो पर्सन कुन साइडबाट आइरहेको छ कुन कन्भर्सेसनमा कसरी नरेसन कसरी गरिरहेको छ उसलाई नरेटिभ कस्तो दिइरहेको छ होइन सो त्यो कन्टेक्स्टमा आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ अकाउन्टेबल राख्नु चाहिँ ठिक हुन्छ तर लाइक जेनरलाइज लाइक एजुकेट गर्दा वा जस्ट आफ्नो स्पेस मात्र माग्दा इट्स काइन्ड अफ लाइक टेकिङ अप यर स्पेस इन सोसाइटी कि आफ्नो स्पेस मात्र माग्दाखेरि चाहिँ इट्स नट द्याट डिफिकल्ट क्यान यु क्यान एड्रेस अस लाइक इफ यु वान्ट टु बी कल बाई देन यु क्यान जस्ट लाइक रेस्पेक्ट माई डिसिजन त्यो मात्रै भयो नि जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई
आई थिङ्क आई वान्ट टु एड आई थिङ्क यो चाहिँ ल्याङ्ग्वेजकै चाहिँ प्रब्लम जस्तो लाग्छ क्या मलाई पनि किनभने इट्स मोस्टली यो इङ्ग्लिसमा बोल्दाखेरि मात्रै हिसी एन्ड दे अनि म पहिला सोच्थेँ कि ओके दे इज भेरी कन्फ्युजिङ यु नो वाइ डोन्ट वी मिन I used to think DE, you know, or some way, okay? Like, why don't we just invent pronouns, you know, so that it's easier. So, but yeah, this is, you know, but it could also be a trend, you know, it could a trendy भएर नयाँ pronouns could come out, होइन तर अब जस्तै अब नेपालीमा नेवारीमा पनि जस्तै छ के छ भने तिमी अरू विषय ऊ भन्नलाई चाहिँ वो होइन त्यो सो त्यो जेन्डर त्यो बाइनरी नै हुँदैन कि सो आई थिङ्क मोस्टली यो फियर पनि यो ल्याङ्ग्वेजबाट नै आएको जस्तो लाग्छ
त्यही त एन्ड आई फिल लाइक आवर नेटिभ इन्डिजिनस practices and knowledge were very gender like neutral it's like very progressive in that sense
यो छँदै छैन कि डिफरेन्सेसहरू नेसेसरी नै छैन कि सो त्यस्तो लाग्छ सो या जस्ट यो प्रब्लमलाई सल्भ गर्नलाई चाहिँ एज हि सेङ you just ask and then be respectful and that's enough
coming on the other side of like kale malai चाहिँ झन् कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ थेट नेपालीमा पनि हुन्छ नि लाइक उनी वहाँ भन्दा चाहिँ that sounds more theatrical doesn't it sounds very camp it's like very theatrical उनी वहाँ यसो वहाँ आउँदै बक्सिरहेको छ that sounds very theatrical for me it's like coming back to that तर मलाई चाहिँ like I love speaking in my own language हैन अनि I'm always looking forward for like education and like it's a kind of like bringing up space for people as well to have that kind of like dialogues because like अघि नै भने जस्तै like having the other opinion is also important because like कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ आफ्नै biasesहरू के छ पनि त्यो eliminate हुन्छ कि so where I stand from what's my views भनेर पनि त्यसमा चाहिँ ठ्याक्कै थाहा हुँदो रहेछ कि so
म चाहिँ त्यही another thing I feel like we need to add is again this isn't के भन्छ very diverse group छैन नि त यहाँनिर होइन के भन्छ अनि म पनि even though I use like हुन्छ नि like not त्यो कसै भनौँ के नर्मल भन्नु जस्ट हुन्छ नि what people expect त्यस्तो प्रोनाउन चलाउँदिनँ नि त म होइन but still like in my like gender expression हुन्छ नि journey I've reached a point where I'm comfortable क्या मान्छेहरूले मलाई जे भने पनि I know who I am म त्यतिले पुगिसक्यो होइन but then I feel like it's very important to mention people who are एकदम early in their journey हुन्छ नि pronouns carry a lot of weight for them and especially like मेरो trans friends haru pani haina when they're transitioning or even aile pani getting like mispronounced haina it brings back a lot of ekdam heavy memories haru haina they can, like you mentioned, it's common courtesy जस्तो लाग्छ अहिले त हुन्छ नि to ask people what their pronouns are. अनि again intent को कुरा नि भयो. Like I know when my uncle is हुन्छ नि she भनेर कुरा गर्दाखेरि मलाई थाहा छ के त्यो जानी गरे हैन भनेर. Whereas पहिला I used to stay with this friend and her boyfriend अनि के भन्छ whenever he used to get mad at me and this is ekdam early like ke bhन्छ I figured out I was gender fluid during COVID नै again trend हैन तर just हैन तर it was very early in my journey नि त अनि म कस्तो खुसी भइरहेको थिएँ because I was like oh my god this makes a lot of sense हैन I was like figuring myself out त्यस्तो हुँदाखेरि when I was pretty vulnerable हैन यो मेरो पहिलाको साथीको boyfriend used to like हुन्छ नि रिसाउने बित्तिकै मलाई she भनेर जानी के हुन्छ नि and you can always tell हुन्छ नि मान्छेले malicious intentले गरेर हो because even after people transition हुन्छ नि wherein हुन्छ नि एकदम हेर्दाखेरि नै कसै भनौँ the street pass हुन सक्छ के even people who have transitioned हैन उनीहरूलाई पनि when you know their history like calling their dead name that is कस्तो malicious हैन and you can always tell के when someone is doing that हैन they can again I don't think media you need to एकदम like scrutinize people हुन्छ नि and like oh cancel गरो because they mispronounce someone's name like हुन्छ नि or like pronouns के त्यसरी because obviously this is especially in Nepal it's a new concept and we need to give people time to understand before they change
so it's just that a lot of people are just unwilling
they're
unwilling and they're like it's like there's so many how do I know it's like we're not telling you to know hundreds because I'm loving just like if you respect that person if you like that person and if that's going to make them feel valued and included be that nice person in some of the मान्छेहरुले बिर्सिसक्यो यो हामी यति धेरै बहस गरिरहेछ but if you actually want to be respectful to somebody त्यो गर्ने बित्तिकै यो सबै कुरा नै हुँदैन
kindness is कस्तो easy I feel like people forget there was this one oh my god there's this video I don't know if you guys have seen it त्यो मान्छेहरुले यतिकै इन्टरभ्यु गरेर हुन्छ बाटोमा अनि के भन्छ एकजना मान्छेमा गएर how many genders are there भनेर भन्छ and he's like I don't know I just got here भनेर I feel like that's Nepal just give them time be respectful it's simple stuff like that